friends. Well, every couple of days I need to have these kind of slow mornings where I either make myself some pancakes, or in this morning's case, I'm going to bake some bread just to kind of start the day off on a slower pace. It helps me kind of reset, I feel like, every couple of days instead of just grab snacks, go to the studio, go. It's a really nice way to kind of slow it down a little bit. I put some tea on, I pop the dough in the oven, I do some exercises, I have to take the lid off of the dough after like 20-30 minutes or something. I water some plants. It's like a really nice, kind of slow but productive at the same time activity. It's so gratifying because at the end of it, it smells really good in my home. I'm nourished. It's a win-win, and I'm all about win-wins. Back to the studio. You remember this painting? I do. I think the last time I was working on all these branches, so intricate. So in that time, I've added some foliage, and I'm going to show you all of that right about now. Yeah, it's a lot of, how do you say, maybe meticulous, detail-oriented work on this painting. This is more of an illusion, more of a space that I want people to believe could be real. So I think that requires just more detail. That's what I'm doing. Enjoy. Ta-da! I finished it. I love how it turned out, but I have other things to do besides painting. I sold this painting and a little bit bigger. It was mounted on a wood panel. Yes, I made this beautiful box. I took it to USPS, but it was too big. So they do have a size limit. I took it to another service and I was quoted like $400 to get this shipped. And I quoted the buyer that it would be around $100 because since I didn't double check with the postal service, and I should have. But the person working gave me a hot tip. Told me about a third-party source that I could buy the shipping label through and use their service with, if that makes any sense. It's a little confusing to me still that this actually worked, but I was able to get the price at less than half of what I was originally quoted. Long story short, I felt like a little bit at first annoyed at myself for, having this issue come up. One, however, there was this beautiful silver lining. I learned about this service that I could utilize where I could get my shipping at less than half of what it normally goes for, which is brilliant. And I'm like, yeah, I will learn this lesson and get the rewards of this silver lining that's in it. And sometimes it takes a minute to see what gifts are actually in things that you might think are obstacles, So thank you. Thank you, universe. Thank you for teaching me that again and again. I learn it over and over again because hindsight is, as people say, 50-50, but I think it's kind of everything sometimes. Yeah, that happened. Not only did that happen, but there was a little bit of a delay with the payment. And I don't know if anybody else out there is going through this, but I have a feeling other people are feeling this, maybe a resurgence of anxiety, and I just felt like, those thoughts that come creeping in, that scenarios that could explain why something is happening, but it's like, shh, quiet. Those are just made up ideas of why something might be happening, but really, a couple of days delay on a payment is not a big deal, and it's all gonna work out. And really having to trust and believe that. They're hard lessons, especially when we've maybe gone through something that has kept us in a place of thinking it's always gonna be one way. But then, sure enough, if you believe something else, you're shown that there are all kinds of other ways. That's what my week has been like. Kind of a lot of little hiccups like that have been happening, where it's like, I have a plan to do one thing and something happens with the other party that kind of twists and turns my plans into something else. And then it ends up being actually really helpful because, I forgot that I needed to do this thing and now I have time to do it. Kind of like even the editing of this video, I was like, I have all this other stuff to do. I don't have time for that. I have to postpone it or whatever. But some time was made available because some plans fell through. And hey, look at us. I just want to relay all of this out there, mostly just to let people know there's a silver lining to all the situations, to all the hiccups, all the obstacles. And I think if you're able to really focus on that, then it really turns situations around like that. I hope that helps somebody out there just to remember that there's always a silver lining. There's always some other thing going on that we might not see. So yeah, my week. I hope that you all have had a great week and maybe had some obstacles. Maybe it's smooth sailing. Maybe it's a little bit of both. I've been really focused on getting all my ducks in a row for this upcoming show next month. In fact, I even got some postcards made, which I'm pretty excited about. Do I have one right here? Let me show you. I love them. I love how they came out. We might be in a time where that is a little outdated to make postcards, but I've been going to openings and just a lot of social things lately, and they've been really helpful to kind of put something in somebody's hand and make some sort of memorable moment about it, to kind of put a bookmark in, other people's minds of events coming up. I think they're really sweet. I think if you can splurge a little bit, I ended up helping somebody work a catering event and put a little bit of cash in my pocket from that. Besides selling some art, which is lovely, I was able to have a little money on the side to make these postcards, and what a treat. It takes a little bit of planning. My calendar is very quickly filling up with little things like get postcards made, send out email invites, things like that might get overlooked, or maybe people aren't totally aware of like the business side of being an artist. So all that stuff is really important, almost if not more important than putting yourself out there. Just going out into the world and going to openings and talking with artists and talking with gallerists. And over time, I've noticed that I'm also talking to collectors, and you don't really know that at the time because you're just talking to anybody about art, and it's a beautiful exchange. And through that authenticity and willingness to be seen, you just end up meeting a lot of different people, and it's been really great. So if I could give y'all some hot tips out there, talk to people. Just talk to people. And it's so rewarding, not only as a practice in yourself to become more comfortable talking about what you do and what you make and having that exchange with people, with maybe total strangers. It's such a rewarding thing, it turns out in the end. And not as something like, I'm doing this so that I can get people to buy my paintings, but just I'm doing this because I love talking and sharing this process and this practice with people. So that's what's on my mind. It's almost halfway through June. I am going to be making and building next week. I'm going to show you all the ins and outs of things that I have to do for that, and getting things hang ready. And I even want to make some sculptures. So much more to come. Having said this, I so look forward to the next time I see you. Have a great week. Take care of yourselves. And until then, bye.